3, 2, 1.
And here we go.
It's simply Greg on the
To the hangout, welcome to the hangout. 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 Hey yo, see me and these dudes doing VR games, movie reviews, infused with whatever topics we choose. If we stop it, we lose, so that's why we keep on dropping the news. And you know us as a crew with the popular views. Includes X and Ray, co-host Bree, Millie, SC, and I'm Bryce, so you know we really bringing it live, us 5 in the hive. You liking this vibe, then hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe. To the hangout, welcome to the hangout. I know you want to go. To the hangout, welcome to the hangout. To the hangout, welcome to the hangout. Come and have some fun. To the hangout, welcome to the hangout. No matter where you're from.
Hey, all right, baby. What's up, man? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Back up in this thing, man. Back up in here. It is the Hangout Experience. Yes. It's been a week. It has been a week. I don't know about y'all, but it has definitely been a week.
Such a long week.
Dude. A long week.
I hate being apart from you.
Yeah, me too. Me too, man. I do too. It's funny how, you know, we do this thing. We both know there's some work involved in it, you know, getting everything ready for the show, and not only that, but once we get it done and you know, getting it ready for YouTube and just all the things that come. Like anybody that does podcasts or anything, like they know what it is. They know what all is involved. However, I love this. I love this game. You know what I'm saying? EA Sports is in the game. But no, I love it, man. And I love doing this for the people that we do it for. So just quick shout out to all of you that have been increasing these numbers, increasing the views, coming back, subscribing, you know, liking, subscribing, and turning on those notifications, of course. We appreciate you. Y'all just don't know, for real. It's so much love from us. And that's why we do this. Seriously. Y'all know the mantra. We usually say it at the end, but I'll start it off with this. It's not the quality. It's not the quantity. I'm sorry. It's not the quantity. All right. Doesn't matter how many of you show up. It's the quality. All right. That's what matters. And for you guys that come back and hang out with us, for the ones that are here for positive vibes, we appreciate you. And let me just say this. Usually when it comes to positive things, we know that's not what gets highlighted, right? You know, kids who do well in school, or this, you know, it's the school shootings. It's, you know, this person has beat up that person. It's always the negativity that gets highlighted. You know, it's the ratchetness that, you know, we go to and everything like that. However, you know what we do over here, and that's just not our thing. So for those people who like to hear the positive vibes and positive energy, we do this for y'all. I just want y'all to know that. And we just appreciate that y'all come back. Or that you leave comments, or you leave likes and views and everything like that. So just wanted to shout out y'all real quick before we got this thing started. So thank you so much. And definitely thank you to my co-host, you know, X, the unannounced. You know, I appreciate you, dog, as always, man. So
I appreciate you always too, brother.
Absolutely, man. So I just had to get that out the way, y'all. Sorry, I'm not trying to come in all sappy and whatnot, you know what I mean? But just needed y'all to know how we feel over here and why we do what we do. And on that note, this is a little hard for me because I definitely like the homie, you know what I'm saying? No pun intended. Quick little shout out, man, and RIP to that boy, Rich Homie Quan. This was hard, man. This is hard. I really like dude, you know what I mean? I like the vibe, you know, from the A, you know what I'm saying? So anybody repping, you know, the way he was repping, definitely close to my heart. And hearing about his passing at 34 years of age, that was tough. That was quite tough for me. I think this was on September the 5th. And the way he went, man, it's just like, oh my God, you know, to not wake up basically. And I'm not gonna get into what it was. I've heard the rumors of this, that, and the other. All I can say is, check in on your people. Let's take care of each other. Let's take care of ourselves when it comes to our health and what we, do with our bodies, what we put in our bodies. All these things. Let's just be mindful of all of that, man. And like I said, just continue to take care of ourselves and check in on our people, man. We definitely lost a great one. I was looking forward to new things from him. And definitely thought he had a bright future in this game. And some of his music, man, still resonates with me today. You know what I mean? Makes me, if I hear it, makes me move, make me feel some kind of way, makes me feel some type of way.
Some type of way, make you feel some type of way.
Said what I did there, of course. But yeah, I just had to give that quick shout out to him, man, because this literally just happened the other day. So shout out to Rich Homie Quan. Definitely shout out to his family. You have my deepest condolences. Sorry for your loss. And as they say, let's give their family some time, to process and deal with this. So anyway, shout out to that boy, man. And anybody else that's going through anything right now has lost anyone, definitely got to give a shout out to a friend of the show, and that's Kayla. We know what you're going through over here, so if you're listening, our prayers are definitely with you. Please believe me. So
praying for you daily, bro. Rest in peace and rest in power to Rich Homie Quan. He had a significant impact. Just coming out of high school, you felt the sound of the Migos, and you felt the sound of Rich Homie and Thug in that 2014 time of lives. He definitely made an impact. So prayers to him and his family. Prayers to everyone who needs it.
For sure.
As we at the hangout, open our arms and wrap y'all in love.
No doubt. We'll say it, homie. We'll say it. Man, for real, bro. And you're right. It's funny when you say this because, I'm an older guy. You know what I mean? I'm one of the old heads, I guess, in the sense when it comes to hip hop and what I like. However, I can close my mind or my eyes to what sounds good. And Rich Homie Quan did things that sound good to me, man. I just like the swag. I like, things about him. And he definitely, to me, helped open those doors to a lot of the artists now that has that the kind of flow that he has and stuff like that, man. He was an innovator to me, for sure. So yeah, man, definitely. So just real quick, y'all, we just had to do that. We got to pay respects here, saying when they are due, for sure.
Always.
Okay.
And again, open our arms for love. You know?
No doubt, man. No doubt. So yes. Love others, love yourselves, you know what I mean? Definitely love God, you know what I mean? Get him in your life. If you don't have him in your life, get him in your life ASAP. It's needed. And from the things that we see going on out there, we can see that, there are some who don't. And like I said, I would suggest that you do, get him in your life ASAP. All right. So now y'all know what we came here for. You see the thumbnail. You know what this is. We are here to talk about Beetlejuice. Oh, you said it 3 times.
Don't you dare say it 3 times. Okay. Don't say it. Don't you say it.
So when I think about this, man, like I think about me being a kid, bro, and I'm telling you, dog, especially when you're younger, before you get the knowledge of what really is what and so forth, so on. So many things can scare you, and of course, hey, don't be in the mirror, turn off the light, saying Bloody Mary. You know what I mean? All that stuff, man. Like, so whenever I think about
Mary,
oh my gosh, bro. So that used to be the thing, right? That would scare the crap out of any little kid, So I always think about that when I think about Beetlejuice and not saying it 3 times. But anyway, so Beetlejuice, the review.
It's showtime.
That's what we are here for. That's what we're here to talk about. For y'all that's probably like me, you grew up on Beetlejuice. You probably had a fondness in your heart for it. It was a very entertaining movie for 1988. It was something new, something we hadn't seen before. Michael Keaton definitely did his thing as Beetlejuice. And the funny thing about it is, and I just want to make sure we put this out here real quick. It took me looking at, because I didn't even get a chance. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know this movie like the back of my hand, so I didn't get a chance to really look at the first one before I went into the review. But as I'm looking on YouTube, well, because YouTube is something else, man. Like YouTube, you can go into it and it's like, okay, what you need to see or what you need to know before you watch Beetlejuice. So you can just go in there and recap, right? So I literally did that right before we went into the movies. And one of the first things they said, which tripped me out, was it was 50 minutes into the movie before they even showed Beetlejuice, and I was like, I didn't even realize that. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even realize how long it took in the movie before him to even appear, and he's like the character, the main character of the movie. And I'm like, wow. So just a little tidbit real quick about that. In the first movie, Keaton only spent 2 weeks shooting his part in the film. Out of the 92, yeah, only 2 weeks, bro. Right? You know what I mean? Like, isn't that something you can just go in, just 2 weeks, do your thing, and then you out of there, bro? That's crazy. So out of the 92-minute feature, he only has 17.5 minutes of screen time. Now,
oh wow!
Right now, that approach of keeping Beetlejuice as a side character did not change for Beetlejuice, with a Keaton appearing in the same time frame. So we just wanted to just give you that little tidbit for all of y'all that would probably be shocked when you think about the fact that I thought he was in there more than that, but no, technically, it was 50 minutes into the movie before he even appeared. So just a little tidbit for you real quick. Y'all know how we like to do here at the Hangout. So without further ado, man, y'all know how we do things around here. We want to go ahead and get into this, but my man, Examillion, you know what you got to do.
No, I'm getting older in my age now. You're gonna have to remind me, Buckaroo, what exactly do we do here again?
Well,
oh, that's right. We play that here. We yeah, it's coming back to me, guys.
It's coming back.
We play that beautiful bean footage.
Yes, sir.
The Beetlejuice trailer.
Let it go.
Here's a preview. Be warned, it's intense.
Can't believe Grandpa's dead.
Death is hard.
Yeah, sometimes I think life is harder.
When I was a teenager, a trickster demon terrorized our entire family and tried to force me to marry him. I believed he was gone forever until you found this in the attic.
Ew. Who's Beetlejuice?
Don't ever say that name.
Beetlejuice.
No, Astrid! I am serious! If you say his name 3 times, he will appear.
Beetlejuice.
The juice is loose.
I'm gonna make you so happy.
The living. The dead. Can they coexist? That's what we're here to find out.
Where's Beetlejuice?
Where's Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice!
Feel free to express yourselves. Don't be afraid.
You're a figment of my imagination. Really? Is this a figment of your imagination?
Say his name and he appears.
It's funny, man, that you found that trailer because I'm gonna be honest with you, I have not seen that trailer yet. That one was a new one for me. Yeah, that they showed different parts of the movie that was different from the very first official trailer that they dropped or however that was.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting because they showed some of the parts. It's funny, man, how I feel about the movie when I watch it compared to like the trailer just then, which gives me a whole nother feeling. Yeah, man. Yeah. Good.
So it's just feelings all around the corner, huh, Price?
It is. You know why this is interesting though? I love this dynamic that we have, and I'm gonna tell you why, man. Because again, as I've said in other ones, some of these things are brand new for you, bro. So watching Beetlejuice for the first time, right? The very first one for the first time, and it's from 1988, and then you have to watch this newer one that's more current and more modern. I'm like, God, man, how does that feel? You know what I mean? To
it's interesting. It's interesting that you use those words, man. You know, modern. Playing catch up to. It's just interesting that you use those terminologies, man.
Yeah, I mean,
because.
Go ahead now. I'm gonna hear your take because I'm more interested in your take on this. To be honest with you, bro, I'm serious.
Like, if I'm being honest with you, man, right? Like, the differences of time, right? It's been 36 years, well documented, that this film franchise is between sequel and its predecessor, and going from one to the next. I have my reservations, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care for Beetlejuice. I watched it. I watched it unbiased, open-minded, everything. I just failed to connect with it. Right? So having that expectation of, okay, I don't necessarily like the first one. I can understand where everybody comes from as far as, okay, why this is a cult classic, why people treat it in such high regard, and why Tim Burton, is a wonderful mind that he is. But for me, as a movie watcher and a movie goer and someone who enjoys these type of films, it just, I don't know what was missing. I don't know if stuff might have been underexplained. I failed to see the connection of things. So many plot holes. I found a hard time connecting to Beetlejuice, right?
The first one.
So then, the first one.
Okay.
So then, when you come in and say, all right, it's 2024, not 1988. Here we go. Here's our Beetlejuice. And I sit back in the theater and I watch it, and I'm like, oh, this is similar to the first one. Oh, I don't want to say copy, Control V, and then Control
copy and
C,
paste,
and Control V. I don't want to say copy and paste. I don't want to say that some of these jokes felt forced. I don't want to say that some stuff in Beetlejuice just wasn't sticking and landing for me.
Very interesting.
That's now. Don't get me wrong. Further into the film, more or less the mid to back half, I was like, okay, it's starting to grow on me, warm me up, right? But I'm pretty cold as far as the intro goes, because it just feels so copy and paste.
I do know, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That's why I wanted to hear your take on it, because for our listeners right now, let's just make sure y'all understand. Okay, this movie, the first one, was released before X was even born. So for all of you get off my lawn type older people or whatever, stop all that. You want to talk to someone younger and get their take, because they just have a different perspective on it. We were younger in 1988. I was, I don't even think I had gotten to high school yet. And in 1988, you already see it cost $15 million to make. They made $77 million in the theaters domestically, all right? And it became a cult classic. It didn't take much that you could tell, even from the first one, from the stop motion, claymation, however they was doing it, they was working with what they had, and it was more of your imagination at the time. Okay. And in 1988, we didn't have the CGI and all the type of stuff we have now, and it did, our imaginations weren't given to us. It was more of like, here, we'll set the stage, and then you use your imagination for the rest of this, right? And so it was a little bit more of wonderment at that time when you were younger, in my age, okay? And so Beetlejuice was like, oh my gosh, wow, look at this guy that could do all this stuff, and so forth and so on. When you get older and you get into 2024, it takes quite a bit to impress people now. Because they've seen it all. Matter of fact, people can go and make movies at home themselves. So they're not just that impressed with movies as they used to be, because they make movies at home now. You got software and programs that you can make this stuff on. So what I want these filmmakers to understand is, you have to have story. You have to have characters that make you feel something. You have to develop those characters. Even a character like Beetlejuice, who already is established in 1988. However, for the new audience and people like you yourselves, you have to give them something to care about with the character. You can't just say, oh, this is an iconic character, so you're supposed to love him. No, I need to know why I need to love this character. What's the big deal about Beetlejuice? And so that part right there, when you're saying I couldn't connect in the beginning, that is what, even myself, bro, I was looking forward to seeing it, and I wasn't going crazy over it. I was looking forward to see it. However, I myself didn't feel the connection as well. I felt the forced jokes. I felt the copy and paste. I felt them saying, you know what, let's not a cash grab per se. I wouldn't necessarily say it was a cash grab, because I don't think Tim Burton is a cash grab director. However, I do think he built this off of the nostalgia for the character. A lot of people love my man Michael Keaton, and a lot of people love the character Beetlejuice. Winona Ryder. So you had people who want to see how they do after 36 years. Okay, so going into it, man, I just did not feel the connection. Now let me go through this real quick. We didn't have the maintenance. Okay, the maintenance in the beginning made you feel a little something. Okay, you had a younger Gina Davis, younger Alec Baldwin. You kind of felt for them. They died because of some demon dog. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to stay on the wood,
taking, just frolicking along, and said, "Oh, let me go torture these people right here." And you could tell like they're young, full of ambition. They didn't. They didn't plan to die, but it just happened.
it just happened, right? And so now you have now they're tied to their house. They can't leave the house, and then after so many years, these people move into their house, and they like, oh my God, I don't want people in here, and now we're gonna haunt them and whatever. But it gave it a little bit more heart, because they connected with the daughter, who was disconnected from her parents. Her father being Jeffrey Jones, Charles Dietz, and her stepmother, played by Catherine O'Hara, Delia Dietz, right? And so she was connecting more to the dead than the living,
Than the living. Mm-hmm.
And so there was a little bit of heart there for me. That's the thing about the 1988 one, and I think that's probably why they didn't even need to bring Beetlejuice into 50 minutes. If you really think about it, your main character you don't bring into 50 minutes into the movie. That means you're trying to build character and heart. You know what I mean? You're trying to develop them. You're trying to develop a story. So you don't need all the hoopla and the gadgetries and wizardry and whatever. I can feel that.
Because you're really trying to spend time establishing why we should care about this married couple who unfortunately passed away.
Exactly.
Right.
You get it, bro.
Early.
Yes.
That wasn't a hard concept to kind of, once you see how it, and how we break down the 50-minute mark, like that makes sense now in hindsight. It wasn't until after they're established and something is going wrong, okay, now we need to go make a deal with the devil,
right,
so to speak.
Exactly.
We don't need the devil right away when we're just still establishing characters,
right? And
maybe they're going off of, like you said, nostalgia for the characters. Hey, we're just continuing on from, because you could kind of tell too, I like Beetlejuice, and now that Beetlejuice is out, okay, it's gonna have something to do with Lydia. Maybe Lydia as a family, and it has something to do with her and her family, right? So you could kind of grasp and get a piece of that nugget before, you watch Beetlejuice.
Mhm.
It's just how do you introduce and do you lean heavy on the fact that it is Lydia, that it is her mom,
Mhm.
that it is, you know, characters that we're supposed to know. But again, like you said, Price, for a newer audience who's just getting in tune to the franchise, who may not know, how do they know that these people are so important?
Right. Exactly. And so when you speak on that point of Lydia, I go into this new movie, and I'm like, okay, I want to know what Lydia's been up to. What is she doing? How does someone who could see ghosts and went through what she went through as a kid, where's she at now? Right. I was okay with, hey, she's a host of a ghost house thing or whatever. She's playing off of her ability and so forth and so on. She has a daughter that she's not really connected to. And now on this part right here, I'm like, okay, if you even know in the town, when they went to the town, the little boy the old girl ran into, the daughter ran into, he's saying like, wow, that's your mother. Like, she's a star here. She's a legend and so forth and so on. And she's like, yeah, whatever, I don't really talk to her or however, Astrid Dietz, her and Lydia are estranged, Astrid has more of a relationship with her father, less of her mother. And that's real because you see it all the time with celebrities. They have these estranged, relationships with their children. Their children aren't viewing them the way that the world views them. You know what I'm saying? In awe and all that. They're like, look, they just a person to me. They're my parent. Y'all get more time with them than I do, so forth and so on. Right. So I was like, okay, that's real. I'm cool with that. However, I didn't really feel a connection with them, even though they were supposed to be disconnected. I still didn't feel that though. You know what I mean? I didn't really feel it. I'm going to say this real quick. I like Jenna Ortega. I did like, some of the things I saw with the Wednesday character. I liked stuff I saw with her with Scream and so forth and so on. But what I'm not liking is her getting typecast, basically. I'm seeing her starting to get typecast as that troubled teen, you know what I mean? That's kind of off to her own. She's misunderstood. You feel what I'm saying? Like she's the outcast, whatever, the oddball. She's getting a little typecast because that's how she was in pretty much every role I've seen her as of late, especially after Wednesday. Now it would seem like it would just automatically be perfect for her to go from Wednesday to this, but they kind of seem the same to me. It's hard for me to distinguish the two in a sense. And so I hope for her and her talent agent and whoever is getting these roles for her, that they don't just try to keep putting her in something like that, because she won't get a chance to really stretch her legs. You know what I mean? And see what she can really do as an actor. So, so starting off with that, man, I'm just like, and then of course, by the time Catherine O'Hara comes on screen, okay, I'm like, she looks the same. I will say, let me just say this. She still look good. She still looked good, man. Yeah. I was actually impressed with her, the way she kept herself up.
Feels like she didn't age a bit.
Exactly. You know what? Seriously, bro, straight up, when you look at from the first one to this one, of course you see a couple little wrinkles or little crow's feet, whatever. But other than that, bro, I was like, wow, she still kind of looks the same. I thought that was good. She's 70 years old, man. And she looks great. So shout out to Catherine keeping herself up for sure.
And the film didn't ignore it either,
No.
Beetlejuice said, oh, I haven't talked to my wife in exactly 30 some odd years, and
right,
so they're trying to keep it as accurate as the timeline and let you know, hey, this how much time has eclipsed since this happened.
Exactly.
Just so y'all know.
Right. And so
yeah, you're supposed to see stuff like that. That comes with growth of the characters.
Right. So I was cool with that. But again, like you said, bro, starting off, I just was not feeling it. I saw them try to make them look like a family. I saw them try to build the characters however, man, but I just was not feeling it at all. I don't know if it was the writing. I don't know what it was, man, but I wasn't there yet. I wasn't there. It wasn't until Beetlejuice came on screen, just like they tried to do with the first one, that now you're like, okay, we're starting to do a little something now. Now, in between this time, they've introduced Monica Bellucci character. I didn't know where they was going to go with this with her. You know, her entry into it, you know, was a little interesting with the, you know, the parts being rebuilt on her and stapling them and all that stuff there. I thought that was interesting. But my main problem with this character is she looks like she's supposed to be the baddie of the whole series, right? You know, whole movie. And it was a little underwhelming for me, you know, without spoiling anything, guys. We just let you know this is not a spoiler review, but it was a little underwhelming as far as
no spoilers, no spoilers,
right? As far as what her character did. Okay, now was she opposing? You know what I'm saying? Yes, and there could have been so much more done with her. However, it just failed to wow me by the time I got to the end of it. And so I just really wasn't impressed with that as well. William Dafoe, you know, playing Wolf Jackson. Yeah, you know, cool. Was he needed? Not really. You know, another face, you know, to get another high profile name in there. But was his character really, did it push the plot? Not really. You see what I'm saying?
Comic relief.
More comic relief, absolutely. And just like you said, X, but the jokes fell through. Now, if they were there and they were just pushing it, but not only just pushing the plot, but it's funny. Oh my God, yes, of course. But just to have it in there, man, to have these jokes fall flat. So for me, man, I'll tell you right now, Beetlejuice himself was the most entertaining part of the movie, because I did enjoy seeing Michael Keaton come back after all these years. Here's what it is. Let me just say this real quick. Michael Keaton, we've seen him in the Batman suit again. We saw him say, "I'm Batman." We see him put on Beetlejuice. You know what I'm saying? Do the Beetlejuice thing. So he has so many iconic characters, and they're having him return in them, but they're not utilizing him the right way. And that part right there is what's disappointing for me, because he's bringing it. I liked him as Batman again, seeing him in Batman, but he was in The Flash.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
More or less, you're using the face more or less for what the talent provides and why he got so many notable roles to begin with. Just let him go. Let him loose.
Let him loose and give him a movie for him to really flesh those characters out in. Stop giving him bad movies to have this iconic character in. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he's bringing it, bro. He's doing his thing.
Instead of chasing the moment, you know, give what he's lending himself to some credence. Give it a story, give it some life, and let us feel it that way, instead of just using Michael Keaton to say, "Hey, there's Michael Keaton."
Yes.
Everybody look, it's Michael Keaton.
Yes. You get it, bro. That's exactly what I'm saying. You're using his name to bring people back. However, you're not giving him the playground that he needs to really, you know what I'm saying, stretch his legs and do what he can do. The writing was underwhelming to me, man. I did not walk away from him like, oh my God, they need to have a part 3. Now, will they have a part 3? It's quite possible. If you get to the end of it, it's quite possible they could do a part 3. And you know, you and I already talked about it. I mean, we know the title, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, why wouldn't it be, right? However, does it need to be? I don't think so. But now, if you look at what the movie is making already, you know what I'm saying? Now, listen to us. Now, this is just our personal opinion. But if you look at what the movie is already making, you would be like, oh, well, you know. I mean, the budget, so the budget in 1988, $15 million. The budget in 2024, $100 million. And you know what I'm saying?
Man.
And now check this out y'all. This is what we want to do, because my man X mentioned this. He said that we would update you on the 1992 movie as far as what they've grossed, right? We told you that it was made for $2.5 million. It was only released in 875 theaters, okay? Now, the film was released in the United States on August 30th, 2024. It received mixed reviews from critics, including us, and has grossed $2.1 million. Now, I said it then, I do believe the movie will make its money back. So to me, I'm like, hey, you didn't lose anything. It's out, and we know that once it gets to streaming, I believe it's going to make some more money. But this movie was released in 4,575 locations. So of course, it has a way better chance of making quite a bit of money. And if you look up, if you look in on Google right now, whatever, they're making money. But I think that it's that initial crowd that's going into it that's like, oh my God, Beetlejuice. I just don't know if everyone is going to come out of there feeling satisfied, feeling like, oh, I got what I've been waiting for 36 years, man. And that's the problem with it. Okay, you know what I think kind of made it hard? When you have Top Gun, right? You got Tom Cruise coming back in Top Gun after 30 years later and killing it. I mean, that movie is known for bringing people back to the theaters after the COVID pandemic. It was done so well, bro. It felt like it was just made the year after the very first one. That's just how cohesive it was. That's how you built the characters. You made them care about new characters that, you know what I'm saying, wasn't even around in the first one, but these new characters, we cared about them too. That's the type of writing that I'm talking about that has to be done in these movies. I don't need a bunch of CGI and craziness going on to impress me. I need you to make me care about the characters. That's it. Now, if I can get some of this wizardry in it, the CGI and all that, and on top of that, that's great. But let's start with the characters and fleshing them out and making me care about Astrid, making me care about the new boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Now, to me, and I don't know how you felt about this, but the new boyfriend felt like he was to replace Orthos. Because Ortho was kind of that a-hole a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
Right?
That was that man's. Oh, absolutely. That was the entire purpose. Move us forward from that. Make it seem like we don't remember, or hey, it wasn't that important, or just try to reestablish something new in whatever type of universe they're trying to create here.
So that's how he felt to me. He felt like a replacement. When you say copy and paste, that's why it really just hit me hard, bro, when you say that. Because I'm like, okay, you just switched out characters that you had from the first one and you put a new face on it or however, but he's the same kind of character. Now, the newer one, I guess, for me that was a little different was Arthur Conti. He played Jeremy. He came off originally like, hey man, this is who I am and so forth and so on and however. But hey, there's other things going on, and that's the part where I was like, interesting. That part right there was interesting for me. I thought that was probably the most interesting part of the whole daggone movie. And Timmy actually called this out, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, I see you over there. So what his arc was the most interesting arc in the whole cast for me. Everybody else was just kind of one-dimensional. He was the only three-dimensional character for me because you didn't know what his motives were, and the way they used him, I was like, now that was good. That part right there was good. Everyone else was they were just there for me, man. They was just there, that's not to crap on Winona or Catherine or whatever. Hey, listen, you got a check for me. You want me to come back? They play this character. Hey, let's get it. I ain't mad at you. Was Beetlejuice needed? I don't really think so. I don't think so. I think I could have just been okay with that first.
But see, and that's my problem too. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but while I have this thought, that's my problem too. Is okay. So if you're going off of what we talked about earlier, right, Press, that Beetlejuice was only in the film for 17 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But you're trying to seem like you're fleshing out. Well, this isn't necessarily really, the direction. And hey, here's really what we should be worried about. It just felt like subtly, like the first Beetlejuice story-wise, it felt like it was more fleshed out as to, why Beetlejuice is who he is, kind of, and what, the motivation and what he's. In this one, it's like, well, you should know what Beetlejuice did the last time.
Exactly.
So this is why we're doing this, because Beetlejuice was used for this.
Yep.
Like, you're presuming again and leaning more into the older crowd than
the newer. Yeah, exactly.
Catering to both.
Yep.
Because now you have actors and actresses in here that are new to the Beetlejuice franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So flesh them out for not only everybody who's stuck with the franchise and done the franchise, but flesh it out for the newer, so we can understand these people more,
right.
understand why, any of this matters.
Yep. That's
Tell
right.
a story.
That's right.
We had an hour and 44 minutes. Tell a story.
Exactly, bro. And that's just all we want. And I want to say this to those that's listening. It doesn't matter your age. I think, there's 20 some years between us, but we both want a story. We care about characters. We want to, you said it best, man, when you were talking about 1992. And I think some of this was off the mic when we talked about it off air. But you want to go to movies to escape your reality. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to take my hour and 45 minutes of my life, because I can be doing something else, then give me something to help me escape. I don't want to be sitting here thinking about, man, why didn't y'all flesh this out more? Or why this and why, you know what I mean? I don't want to be questioning this whole time. I want you guys as the filmmakers to answer those questions for me, and like you said, man, just introduce a new crowd of people to a new cast member in this show. You know what I'm saying? This movie. Help me understand their purpose and their motivation. And I just didn't see them doing it. I think some things definitely hurt this movie. The fact that the maintenance weren't there. They were real slick with it. They had like one-liners where it was like, hey, so what happened to the ghost that was in the, da. And then that's it. Oh, wow. Oh, well, I guess that's it for them. That explains everything. And then, we got to touch on this, bro. There was a main character missing. There was a main character missing. That was
Let's talk
Charles Dietz. Okay, and you even see from the trailer, there's a funeral going on, and you wonder what's going on, whatever. I think it's already been in some of the titles of the on Google and whatever on some of the news feeds. He's not in this. Jeffrey Jones is not in this playing Charles Dietz. Now, his likeness is in here, however, and it's very interesting. It's a very interesting topic because Jeffrey Jones was arrested in 2002 for possession of child sexual abuse material and soliciting a 14-year-old boy. That's right, a 14-year-old boy to produce sexually explicit images between September 2000 to May 2001. Now, I knew this going in. I already knew what was going on with him, and I'm even funny because Timmy at the time, she was, I think for her, she was just like, oh, okay, well, he's not in here because he passed. And I was like, that man ain't dead. That man ain't dead. However, his career is dead. You know what I'm saying? His career is dead. Yeah, RIP to his career.
That was something I'm right there with Timmy on. Like, I'm sitting here like, it made me feel more because, again, I took the time to go back and watch Beetlejuice, right?
Right.
So now I understand why we have such a dark tone to this movie and an understanding when we're at a funeral, and we're trying to establish this and do this. But I'm thinking, okay, unfortunately, he's not with us. They're playing it smart. I figured they were paying homage to the first film, trying to use the claymation aspect and, what they did throughout the film for his likeness and whatnot.
Right.
But the developments, you start looking at a little different, little sideways. Okay, understood. Now I see why it took so long.
Right. And so the interesting part is, like you mentioned the claymation. They used his likeness, right? And I'm like, okay, cool, right? And then we know what happened during that moment that allowed them to say, okay, he's here, but he's not here, right? And we don't have to use his likeness the whole time through. So we're gonna use this interesting take on it, and he's here in spirit, no pun intended, but he's not, right? I thought that was interesting. However, I think doing that is what makes this movie miss a lot of things. Now, of course, if this man has all this going on, you can't put him in the movie because you're gonna have people, picketing and you know what I'm saying, and trying to cancel and all type of stuff there, right? However, if he's not gonna be in there, then you don't give me that likeness stuff the way they try to do, because it just did not hit hard like it should have. And let's just be honest, if they use his likeness, he got paid. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, You know what I mean? Like, okay, he's at the end, he's out, you know. But that little toe dipping in there.
In this line.
Yeah, bro. They was teetering the line, dog. And I'm like, okay, he's either in or he's out. Okay, let's one of the two. And so I think the movie suffers because of that. You don't have the Maitlands. You don't have Charles Dietz. You know, you're tiptoeing around, you know what I'm saying, certain things. And it's just not hitting. And like I said, man, the antagonist of the movie, she was interesting. She was formidable, no doubt, but it was very underwhelming, very anticlimactic when I got to the end, and I just was not impressed with that. I thought they could have done so much more with this movie, man. And so for me, as you said, bro, I was disappointed. I'm a longtime fan. I was ready to go ahead and like this. Now, let me make sure we get this right. Michael Keaton, once again, as we said, he does his thing. He is Beetlejuice. I mean, listen, bro, even the part when you're doing the trailer and he does that whole, you know, when they showing him from behind, and then I don't know what he does with his face, but something comes out his face and you see wings and things coming out the same way they did in the first one, right? My only thought was, I wish they would show what that looks like one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they do a third movie, can we just see what comes out his face just one time, please? Instead of the whole trying to imagine what was coming out his face. But Michael Keaton is in rare form, man. He's doing his thing. You know, I cannot be mad at Michael Keaton because he's playing the character. He played Batman the way he would play it. He's playing Beetlejuice the way he would play it. But they're not giving him something to work with. So I don't have a problem with Michael Keaton. I just have a problem with the writing. And I'm gonna say this too. I mean, I'm a Tim Burton fan. I love the first Batman. You know, Nightmare Christmas, all this stuff here that he's done. I think he even did Edward Scissorhands. You know what I'm saying, bro? I like Tim Burton. He has a twisted view of things. It's cool. However, I don't know if he needed to direct this movie. Okay. The person who directed Top Gun didn't direct Top Gun 2. All right. So I kind of feel like had they brought somebody in that loved Beetlejuice, they grew up on it just like I did, and they had a lot of love for it, I think they probably would have served this a little better than Tim Burton himself. That's no slight on the man. The man is a fantastic director. He has definitely made his mark in cinema. I just don't know if he needed to do Beetlejuice 2. And that's something that I will forever be thinking about when it comes to this, this movie. Would it have been better if they would have just chosen someone who grew up on the movie and had a lot of love for Beetlejuice? You know what I'm saying? They could have really paid homage to it and wrote basically like a love letter to Beetlejuice, So that's my main thing with that, man. I just didn't feel it. And I know, man, if you look online, y'all gonna probably like, man, y'all don't know what y'all talking about, man. People loving it and the reviews and this. Okay, well, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Go with them, go with their thoughts. But here, man, we're not tied to anything. We're not getting paid from anybody or sponsored by anybody to say good things about
No pay,
bro.
No payola or nothing, dog. This is literally just us two. We hanging out and we talking about a film that we saw, and y'all just so happen to be with us.
Right? You're like flies on the wall, right?
y'all, you guys are hanging out with us,
Oh my God. And we just try to keep it 100 over here, man. I mean, we just, if the movie hits, we talk about it, we let you know. If it doesn't hit so well, we talk about it, we let you know, and
we gotta let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? We ain't being a very good unkin few if we don't
that's right.
Tell y'all, put y'all up on game, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let y'all know what's going on out here in these streets.
Out here in the streets, shawty. Yeah, no, man, and it's our responsibility as reviewers to be honest with you and say, listen, for us and our crowd and what we like, okay, I don't think it's going to resonate well with us, no matter the age. And you have it from two different generations here. I grew up on Beetlejuice. I should have loved this movie, but I came out of it not loving the movie and feeling as if they should have just left my movie alone. You know what I'm saying? Where it was. And you have X who is from a different generation who went back to watch it. He went back to watch it. He did the work. So you're not talking about somebody who just came in, he don't know anything about it, and he just like crapping on the movie because he just didn't like it. He don't understand it. No, he went back and did his research. Okay, he put in the work. And he even said, I mean, it just didn't catch me, you know. And I respect you for that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's your opinion of that. And you're representing your generation as well. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad that you don't like a movie I grew up on. Hey, I mean, it was a different time. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate you being honest about it, man, and just letting me know, hey, look, man, I'm not saying it sucked. I'm just saying for me, it just didn't do it. It didn't get my motor going, you know.
And that's all. But at the same time, Price, I can sit here and tell you too, though, that, you know, if you asking me Beetlejuice or Beetlejuice, I'd say Beetlejuice.
There you go.
Get that entendre, y'all? I said it multiple times, so it'll pop up eventually. But you know what I'm saying? I just feel like story-wise, I still got and understood, and they didn't feel like they needed to sacrifice as much. Now, again, was the first one my cup of tea? Probably not. But if I had to watch one or the other, I would probably go back to the original.
There you go. And I think a lot of people are going to feel the same way that you feel coming out of this. Like, you know what? Anytime I want to get that Beetlejuice, you know, itch, I'll just go back to watch the first one. You know what I mean? So, now, quick little shout outs real quick. I did like seeing my man Danny DeVito, you know, in it. I was like, that's what's up. There go Danny DeVito. Yeah. Doing his thug thing. All right. That was good.
Did his thug thizzle, man.
For sure. You know, I like the little cameos, man. It was cool seeing, you know, some of the people that they put in it. I was feeling it. Again, though, some of that stuff wasted, man. I think William Dafoe's character wasted because, again, like I said, just flat jokes. Some other notable things that they did in there. We do know that the Banana Boat song.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me want go home.
Daylight come and I want go home. You know, right? That's everybody knows that from that first movie.
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot much.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, everybody knows it, right? I like how they implemented that song into the second one. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, are they gonna do it? Are they gonna pay homage to it? And they did. I like the way they did it. But again, bro, it was like, it's just little pieces of things that they did. I was like, all right, that's cool. They gave me a little something, you know what I mean, to go off of. But godly, man, they just missed the mark with so much stuff on here, bro. And I really walked away like, is that it? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, gosh, okay, well. Now, if the third one comes out,
more, you know, it felt more like, you know, just to kind of throw back just a small bit real quick.
Yeah.
It just kind of felt like, you know, how producer Timmy was just like, you know, just a little bit, just a little bit more. You know, you kind of left and, you know, were you fed? I mean, you're not hungry, but
are you full? Right, exactly. Right. You're not hungry anymore, but are you satisfied? Right. Right. You know, did you eat just because you needed to nourish your body, or did you eat because you really enjoyed that food? Right. Perfect analogy, dog. And I ate just because I needed to nourish my body, dog. That was it. I didn't eat because I was like, oh my God, this tastes so good. No, I would have rather had a Timmy treat. Okay, so
say we need a Timmy treat to cleanse our palate, man. I think that's what it boils down to.
For real, shawty, for real. Timmy treat's coming soon, by the way, y'all. Y'all will see what we talking about. All right, man. Listen, I think I've said everything I need to say about it. I'm ready to go ahead and give my review, my number, my grade. Again, real quick, I appreciate Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton, thank you. Thank you for still being here to revive, you know what I'm saying, these characters and give us what you got, man. I mean, he brought it to me, bro. I hate to have to say this about the movie because in totality, I have to be honest. However, Michael Keaton, he just does it for me on screen. I have always liked him as a character, always liked him as an actor. He just does it. If I'm judging off of Keaton himself, oh man, my number's high. However, that's not how the movie goes. So I have to be honest with it, man.
He's a factor that's considered.
Sure.
You know, was he enough?
Exactly. Was he enough to carry this whole movie? And unfortunately, he was not for me. There was too much other stuff going on. There was too many plot holes, too many things that didn't get resolved for me. My guy playing Rory, Justin Theroux, he just didn't do it for me, man. He was just annoying to me. He was just annoying. He was acting. You know what I'm saying? You know how you see actors that they're acting because they're into the character, and then you see actors that are acting, and it's like you can see the strings, right? And like I don't want to see the strings. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go to a puppet show,
Yeah, the last thing I need is the strings in a puppet show.
I don't want to see the strings, man. Just make the puppet dance. You feel me, bro? That's it. That's it, dog. So
help a brother out, man.
Yeah.
Just let me get lost in the world that you're trying to put me in. Let me just close my eyes and feel like I'm somewhere else, man. Don't just hold my hand through it, man.
Yeah, that's where I was with it, man. So I just had to be honest and say I unfortunately have to give this a 6.5 because it just was not there for me at all. Now this is not Barbie numbers, you know what I'm saying? But definitely a 6.5 because for nostalgia reasons, purposes, yes, they gave you that. You get to see your old characters back again. Great, whoop-de-doo. For good movie purposes and making me feel something for characters and all this stuff here and walking away satisfied, I just wasn't there. I was extremely disappointed at what they did with this movie. So I'm at a 6.5, man.
Oh man, looks like I gotta be the savior of Beetlejuice. Looks like I'm Beetlejuice, as Ryan Reynolds would call himself.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, I'm be honest. I mirror a lot of your sentiments. I mirror a lot of your echoes. It's just not as fleshed out as, a great sequel that comes to my mind after all this time. The Incredibles. The Incredibles 2.
There you go.
I felt like that was a well balance of, because when the first Incredibles came out, I was a baby. I still enjoyed it. It was a great film.
Right.
But bringing it up to speed, up to date, it's just a great way to transition. And I just feel like this movie sacrificed a lot. I do mean a lot, really, to get it out there.
Right.
I think, like we said, for 1992, it's gonna make its money back.
Sure.
Just off of, name alone. Off
yeah.
of Michael Keaton's back.
Sure.
Boy, I know his back hurt. Even off of Jenna Ortega and, our beautiful cast that we have here.
Sure.
I feel like there's gonna be enough here for everybody to break even on this film. So you could take everything what we're saying in this review with a grain of salt. But as far as for me, I just don't feel like the movie was enough. I just feel like too much was sacrificed to keep me in as a viewer.
Right.
So I'll echo your sentiments. Except I'm gonna go down just a tad bit more, man. You said 6.5. I'm gonna just say it's 6.
Yeah. Yep. Well, good thing we don't have one more reviewer here, and they said a 6. We would have to shut this show down. So
now that does leave us at an average of a 6.25.
6.25. All right.
You like I said, you take our review with a grain of salt, but for me, like I said, if I'm comparing work to work, Beetlejuice is a little bit more fleshed and edged out, and something that if we could just not completely copy and paste, because that's another reason why I ding Beetlejuice.
Sure.
But if you copy paste the story arc correctly, I think we're looking at this movie a little bit more different.
Sure. I agree, man. Listen, Tom Cruise's Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick. It's a copy of, bro. They literally start the movie off exactly the way the first one starts off. I'm talking about down to the music that they use, bro. Everything, dog. It started off so much like the second one. So copying and pasting is not necessarily a bad thing. However, not fleshing out your characters and all that stuff there and developing those characters, that is a problem. And when you get that type of energy or direction, rather, this is what you get. So I hope other movies are watching and paying attention if they decide to bring back a beloved character, of a franchise. So okay, like my man said, 6.5. And
6.2.
6.25. Yeah.
6.25.
All right. So you got it. You got it out there, guys. That's where we are with it. I mean, should you go see it? If you have nothing better to do and you feel like spending your money and whatever, and you just really, love this character that much, sure, go out and do it. But just be aware. Manage your expectations. Okay. Temper your expectations, because you might not walk away feeling the way I felt. You know what I'm saying? But you probably will feel like they could have done better. However, so okay. All right. Well, it's that time of the day. It is the end of our show. We got to end this thing off with a quote.
Yes, sir. Now, everybody, we gave y'all our mantra at the beginning, and I'm gonna repeat it after the quote just in case, so we can, get a little understanding between the both of us.
For sure.
But as far as the quote of the day, it is not the strength of the body that counts, but the strength of the spirit.
I love it. I love that. Okay. I truly love that, man, because as we get older, as we're talking about Michael Keaton, who is obviously visibly older, he still has, his spirit to come in and bring this character to life. And, at 73 years old, man, I mean, he did his thing. He still moves around good. He looked like Beetlejuice. You know what I'm saying? He still moved like Beetlejuice.
Like he never lost a step.
Never lost a step, bro. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he was almost 40 some years old or whatever when he did the movie. And we do know as these bodies, they deteriorate. However, our spirits live on. And your spirit, you know what I'm saying? That's why you have to feed it with positive, energy, just positiveness, period. If you are in touch with God, you know what I'm saying? You have to feed that into your spirit, because that's right there, man. You know what I'm saying? That's your core. That's your true core. That's what will live on. So, the strength of the spirit.
Talk about it.
Hey, man, the strength of the spirit is what matters after everything. You know what I'm saying? We know some people lose use of their limbs. However, their minds are still strong, their spirit is still strong, and they hang around for a long time. I don't know if you saw it in your theater, but we had that Superman documentary about Christopher Reeves and everything like that, and it was like, wow, I actually enjoyed that trailer more than I enjoyed the movie, man. That's crazy. So,
wow.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get a chance to see that type of trailer.
Yeah.
Maybe it showed a little early in the I didn't get there exactly at. I got there a little bit later, but I assumed it'd be like, all right, I at least get there by this time.
For sure.
I missed about maybe 5-10 minutes of the trailers. Maybe it came on in the beginning half.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely something, because Christopher Reeves is my Superman. I mean, Henry Cavill, hey, I love you, boy, but it's Christopher Reeves for me. So I'm actually excited about that.
A lot of people echo that sentiment, man.
No
Just
doubt.
like the great Batman debate,
That's right.
A lot of people say Christian Bale. A lot of people say Michael Keaton.
I'm just saying. I'm probably in the latter. And I love Christian Bale. He did an amazing job as Batman, But, I mean, Michael Keaton's that dude, man. So. But anyway, all right, man. So, the mantra, what you got?
It's not the quantity of people. It's the quality. Thank y'all again. It's always the quality of the person for checking out our review. Come and hang out with us while we talked about Beetlejuice. Don't say it a third time. You know what I'm saying? We already told Beetlejuice how we felt about it.
That's right. We're already in trouble.
On him so he can hear us again. I think we already in trouble, like Price just said.
That's right, y'all. Please don't forget, man, like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you can make sure that you continue to get these videos as they drop. We love you. We appreciate you. As I said before, check in on your people. Love your people. And love yourselves. All right. Till next time, y'all.
We love you.
Peace.